growing up, like around here, there's no jobs. And put on the reservations, after a while, after time, anger gets passed down generation to generation, and we're starting to express ourselves for it.
It sounds absurd to people, but to us, we're telling people, hey, we're fucking Navajos, we play black metal, and that's who we are.
Heavy metal here in the reservation is really different because you never heard of it. Everybody thinks we're like just some bunch of crazy Indians, you know, getting wild.
My name is Kyle Felter. We're in Windrock, Arizona, my hometown, in a hogan on my drummer's family's land. And this is basic dwelling of the Navajo that they used to, live in and culture-wise. And to me, a hogan's the best place to play metal. I would like to record it here, I think it would sound really tight.
There's a lot of bands, heavy metal bands on the Navajo reservation, and for some reason this music, this subculture seems to permeate with the youth. What res metal is res is sort of an inside word for reservation. Our brand of metal is different than anybody else, and whether you grew up with it or, like myself, sort of tagged along with it and made it your own, it's blowing up.
My mom, when I was in the womb, she would put headphones on and blast Metallica, Iron Maiden, Scorpions, Megadeth, and so I guess I came out a metalhead.
I grew up, listening to Iron Maiden. I love the album covers. It made sense. I don't know, I just like dark imagery. Because, it's not too great around here. It just takes you somewhere else.
A lot of artists around here on the Navajo Nation, they write about what goes on, the struggles and, the experiences here on the reservation that a lot of people outside of the reservation don't know about.
A lot of frustration, a lot of boredom out here, I guess you could say, You need to find somewhere to channel it and just something positive,
We grew up poor, but it's just like letting out aggression and energy.
If we didn't have that metal subculture, there'd be a lot more dead people around here because people are angry and frustrated everywhere. But for us in this barren, I guess it's not a wasteland, it's really beautiful, but it's depressing being here.
Suicide rate's the biggest killer around here, and on the reservation, and it comes in waves.
I mean, I've lost a couple friends over the past few years to suicide, and it really sucks. And like you don't even see it. There's like signs like you would see, but sometimes you don't see it, and yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Growing up on the res is basically a constant struggle. There's no jobs, there's little to no opportunity. You have cultural roots that you grew up with your grandparents and your family, your parents. Before Western expansion, we were all right. We took care of ourselves and we were very self-sufficient. But when we had to conform to Western culture, that's where everything pretty much went straight to hell after that for us. Like, I'm not an activist or anything, but I'm aware of our history and I'm proud to be a Navajo. It's hard to balance that cultural heritage as well as trying to live in the 21st century. It's a constant struggle. The cultural trauma passed down is what we play, how we feel, that anger, that aggression, growing our hair out.
Just to find a safe haven for everybody, just to get to a show, music, metal. It does it for you. It possesses you. Like that's why we do. That's a lot of people do it. I know a lot of people. It's changed their life. It's saved their lives, and that's what keeps them going.
I have a reservation, and the reservation is far apart, and there's no venues, so they host shows wherever they can, whether it's in the middle of nowhere, you can throw a show anywhere.
That DIY mentality and attitude is one of the backbones to this res metal scene.
Yeah, DIY, you know, do it yourself. It's just really natural for us. And it's always been that way. Even, you know, when we had our band going, we would make our own stage and, you know, put up a show. You know, I think that was the enjoyment of doing things, you know, and it still is.
You do it because you love it. So it doesn't matter if you have to build a stage or, you know, get a flatbed truck to use as your stage.
Oh, the passion with these res shows, it's remarkable. I think this is an underground phenomenon that the world needs to see.
I get into this mentality. I'm kind of, you know, just easy-going guy, you know. But like when you get on stage and like you have that mic and everything's like loud and like it does something to you. It switches you on, and like I'm there to entertain you. I'm there to put on a show. I'm there to create a spectacle of myself, you know, because that's what it is. It's art. It's an art form.
Around 1990, you know, you had death metal come along, so that kind of scared people, you know. Maybe that was the last time that you felt any kind of feelings about music, you know, kind of that dangerous attitude that rock stars talk about, you know. And when death metal came along, black metal, you know, that kind of brought that spirit back because it wasn't just an act. So the black metals really lived that life, you know.
We were more of embracing dark sides of our culture, things that you're not supposed to talk about, you know, the black magic, those kind of things.
We get in a whole different state of mind than who we were before. Just like, you know, if you were to put a mask on, you know, you put that mask on, nobody knows it's you, so you can be a whole different person.
To us, it kind of like relates to Navajo culture as well. Because like in Navajo culture, there's like witches. They're called Yanagloshi, and they have something similar, like how the corpse paint looks, like it's black and white. And I think that's the reason why we use it as well.
Just like Western cultures, you have your good and bad. Over here, it's the same too. We have our good and bad. The good, you know, there's traditional ceremonies, healing ceremonies. You know, you go see a medicine man, get healed, you know, spiritually. And then there's the opposite of that. There's people that are out there that want to hurt you. And then they'll paint their face using ash, and then they'll get blood, whatever, wipe it on their face, and just go out and conjure up their spells and try and make the person that they're out to get make their life their own living hell. I think what a lot of bands are doing, like right now, currently, are trying to show people around here that metal's not all that bad. Especially here, you know, here on the reservation, metal is really popular, and just people don't see it because a lot of people like to advertise all the country shit.
It's frowned upon. This is like country town. It's like mostly country music. They don't play metal on the local stations.
I have a lot of respect for all these bands. You know, we're not out here to butt heads and say who's better than who. It's just one big family.
I'm grateful for my struggles that I've been through, and you know, I'm proud to be, you know, Native American, and to be a Native American that plays metal, is in the words of my cousin Ed, he shut up and jam, and you gotta live fast to play fast.
Red Nation